I'm very, very happy for him. Really happy for him. Yeah, like what I said about Daniel Dubois, Danny. It's never been about his chin. It's never been the issue. It's between his ears with Daniel. And I said, if you can get him right between the ears and confident, you're looking at a dangerous man. He can punch. His jab's like a backhand. He's super strong. Listen, he's going to be a problem for the heavyweight division. A confident Daniel Dubois that believes in himself is a dangerous man, Danny.
How confident are you now in Daniel Dubois' mindset after the last two performances?
I am very confident in it because Filip Hrgović is a tough man. And Jarrell Miller, for all his criticism, he's a tough man as well. And Daniel's had to dog it. And he's also had to face some adversity in both of those fights. So all the criticism of Daniel Dubois, which he's been labelled as a quitter in the past, I believe he's got rid of those tags. And rightfully so. Daniel Dubois needs a big pat on the back, and I'm the first person to give him that.
Well, let's see if it stays as positive as that when we talk about his potential next fight in September against Anthony Joshua at Wembley. It's not over the line yet.
Fight.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie says it's only going to happen if the IBF title's on the line, and we wait to find out if that's the case.
It should be, yeah.
What does Daniel Dubois, because we know what Joshua needs to do, I think, pretty much, but what does Daniel Dubois need to do to, A, make that fight competitive, and B, get the job done?
Do what he's done in the last two fights. Believe in himself and throw leather. It's a great fight. This version of Daniel Dubois, if you'd have asked me before the Jarrell Miller fight, and definitely, before the Hrgović fight, or definitely before the Jarrell Miller fight, I would have said it's a no contest. It's light work for AJ. But in this fight, he's a real live dog in there, Daniel.
So what is it now? Would you say 60-40 AJ or more than that?
Yeah, I would still give AJ I would give AJ he's the favourite in that, but due to experience, right? Due to experience. But I give Daniel Dubois a good chance in that fight because you've got to remember he's still only a young guy, Daniel Dubois. He's still a young guy, but he punches so hard. If Daniel Dubois hits you on the chops, you're gonna know about it. So it's a shootout fight, that fight between him and AJ. They're both kind of similar sizes, aren't they? Like in stature. So it's a well, AJ, I think AJ's a bit bigger, isn't he? AJ's a bit bigger than Daniel, but it's still like it's two big, strong heavyweights that can punch. So I'd be so excited to watch that fight. Definitely now after Daniel's recent run of form and AJ's run of form, they'll both go into that fight full of confidence.
Can Dubois go into this fight, maybe unlike the last two, because there was a lot of question marks, against AJ at Wembley as the underdog? Can he go in with that nothing to lose mentality?
Yeah, he has got, because people will still have him as a big underdog in that fight. Yeah. So of course he's got nothing to lose. Daniel's made a hell of a lot of money in boxing at such a young age. You know that. People forget that. Like Frank Warren, I've said this before. You will struggle to find a better promoted fighter than Daniel Dubois on planet Earth.
All the time.
Danny,
he's done a tremendous job with Dubois.
Danny, not England, the world, ever. You go back, right? And this isn't for these plonkers start saying, world top. No, I'm talking about cash money. The amount of dough that Daniel Dubois has made in boxing. Daniel Dubois is a rich young man. And he has Frank Warren to thank for that. Trust me, Frank Warren has done arguably the best promotional job in ever with Daniel Dubois. And I mean that. I really, really mean that. I mean, if someone can start getting, there's other fighters. Okay, if there is, but there won't be many. That's all I'm saying. So Frank Warren deserves a whole heap of praise for how he stuck by Daniel Dubois, because a lot of promoters, past or present, would be like, dud. But he's brought him back up. He's got him the correct fights to bring him back. That plonker he beat in Florida. But all of those fights count. Do you understand what I mean? It's all brought him back to the fighter who he's now become. And I just think, wow, what a job Frank's done with Daniel Dubois. I suppose that's why he's a Hall of Fame promoter. But that is a special job what he's done with Daniel Dubois.
And in a rather unlikely event that Trevor Bryan is watching this, SecondsOut's not calling you a plonker, Trev. It's only
Yeah,
SansOut.
I apologize for the plug, but yeah, let's just say one of the weaker regular WBA heavyweight champions in recent memory. Sorry,
Yeah.
Trev.
Yeah, sorry, Trev. Anthony Joshua was watching the Dubois fight from ringside, sandwiched in between Hearn and Warren, seemingly ignoring both of them because he was so focused on the fight, which I suppose is a good thing. What will he have been thinking? What would have been going through his mind watching Dubois?
AJ is a clever man. He'd be thinking, right, this guy needs to be taken very, very seriously. Very, very seriously. I think AJ will be full of confidence because they've done a lot of rounds with each other in the past. But AJ will know that, damn, I've got my hands full here with this young tenacious young lion, this revitalized Daniel Dubois.
Because people were picking Hrgovic to potentially give AJ a tough night in September, expecting him to come through against Dubois.
Hrgovic is a top fighter. I just think he didn't take Daniel Dubois seriously. I messaged Philip after the fight and says, "You didn't take that fight seriously."
I bet
I
he loved
did.
that.
I was, no, I told listen, I speak to Philip. Listen,
that.
I speak to Philip. I speak to Philip a lot, and I message him. I said, I don't think he took that fight seriously. But listen, when you under prepare, especially in the heavyweight division, you're gonna know about it. But listen, like what I've just given for the last 5 minutes, Daniel Dubois needs his flowers. He's done fantastically well, and I'm very, very pleased for him.
Right, and just finally, you wake up tomorrow morning, you've inexplicably swapped bodies with Tunde Ajayi, some sort of Freaky
Ugh.
Friday type scenario.
I was
Sorry
wondering
for
where you were going to go then, Danny. That's a
that.
mad one.
It is a bit of a mad one, but just say that happens. What is your advice to your number one man in Anthony Yarde? What does he do next promotionally, and which fight?
It's a hard one again to answer this question because I genuinely like Tunde. Genuinely, I like Tunde, and I really like Anthony Yarde. But from an outside perspective looking in, going back to what they were saying about the Daniel Dubois thing, you will struggle to find another promoted fighter better than what Frank Warren has done for Anthony Yarde. So I find it very strange. So I don't know what's gone. Something must have gone very drastically wrong there for that relationship to go. Because Frank Warren has done a sensational job for Anthony Yarde. You got to look, right? Anthony Yarde's best win is a very good Lyndon Arthur, right? And Lyndon Arthur beat Anthony Yarde. So really, so they beat each other. But again, Frank got him the rematch, brought him back up, got him another world title fight. Do you understand what I mean? Because this was post Kovalev.
Yeah.
Got him to number one without really fighting anybody. Let's be honest. Yeah. Got him to number one status. Got him paid a shitload of money to go to Russia and fight Kovalev, get that experience. Come back, fight Lyndon Arthur, lost. Rematch Lyndon Arthur, get it straight back. Another world title against another killer in Beterbiev. But who gave a great account of Anthony Yarde's a great fighter. He really is. I love watching Anthony Yarde fight. I love Anthony Yarde fight nights, especially when he's involved in big nights. He brings it. And I think Anthony Yarde can be a world champion. I just think that from an outside perspective looking, and this isn't me giving advice because I can't give advice. I don't know the situation, but Frank's done a great job. So if you can solve it, then if you can mend that, then mend it, because Frank ain't done a bad job by Anthony Yarde.